the Utah Homebuyer Show. I'm Debbie Hart, a lender with Security Home Mortgage.
And I'm Christy Fisher with Presidio Real Estate.
And today we want to talk about the difference between a pre-qual and a pre-approval. There is quite a difference, and most of the time we're not seeing pre-quals anymore, but once in a while they pop up, and it's really important for you guys to know the difference. Most people, like I said, are not using those anymore because they're not enough. A pre-qual is simply when a lender takes your phone call and they get your number estimates over the phone. So I'm answering the phone, I'm saying, how much do you make? How much do you have for a down payment? And you're telling me, and it's just verbal. People write or used to write a pre-qual letter based off of just those verbal numbers without verifying any of those assets. Today, in today's market, it's really important to have an actual pre-approval done. That's where we're requesting the W-2s, the pay stubs, the bank statements, and then after verifying all of those assets and employment history, we actually also, in addition to that, run it through AUS, an automated underwriting system. So it's a very strong pre-approval at that point in time. It's running through all of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's guidelines, and so that you guys know that this loan is going to close. We do have an underwriting process that happens with a person later on where they're going just a little bit deeper than those W-2s and those bank statements. They can look for like old tax liens or undisclosed child support, anything like that that might come up that we will need to handle. And at Security Home Mortgage, we actually also offer, in addition to the pre-approval, a full underwrite ahead of getting the loan, and that's called our Security Plus program as well.
Yeah. And why this is so important is as you know, the market's crazy. If you're getting 20 offers and somebody hands in a pre-qual letter versus a pre-approval letter, you're going to know the pre-approval was looked into, and you know that that offer is going to make it to the end of the transaction because somebody's already verified that that information is correct. And so that's why it's important to get a pre-approval versus pre-qualified, because you're just not going to put in as strong an offer with a pre-qualification letter versus a pre-approval. In fact, if you were to turn in a pre-qualification letter, they might just go, nah, nope. I don't know anything is verified on
Nothing's been verified on
Yep.
that.
And when you're going up against multiple offers, that's very important. And if you're going above asking price, you want to prove that your finances are where you say they are.
Yeah.
So that's really important.
And so it is important because we have, gotten some feedback from some buyers that they have still gotten some pre-quals, even though we're like, that hasn't been happening usually since like 1980, but some people are still doing those. And sometimes people will write pre-approval on there, and it is actually a pre-qual. Yep. So you guys stand up for yourselves and have the difficult conversations. You feel rightly so justified in asking your lender, whether you're the borrower or whether you're the real estate agent, ask your lender the hard questions. Has this borrower been verified? Have they gone through the AUS system? Have they been through the automated underwriting system? And have you verified their income, their employment, and their assets? And if you don't get a yes on all of that, it is not a pre-approval, and I would either ask them to do that or find another lender.
Yeah. And I think it's important as a consumer, knowing what all this means, because it can be so confusing. And, oftentimes we'll see maybe a difference with a lender versus a bank or a credit union. Sometimes the timelines are just a little bit different. Depending on what you want, this is kind of going to be the biggest difference. Oftentimes a lender, like Debbie here, who's awesome, they work on weekends, which is often when you're putting in the most offers. You're working hard during the weekends because that's when you're looking at houses. That's when you have time. They're available all the time. Oftentimes with a credit union or a bank, they're off on the weekends and they're not available all the time. And for me as a real estate agent, when I'm working for my clients, I want to make sure I'm working with somebody who I can contact the most often and who's willing to, I have a relationship with somebody who we can work together and we can make things happen for you. Versus someone that, doesn't, and yes, have boundaries, make sure you're putting your time for your family and those things, but you want to be available for clients so that they can can, get those
Yeah.
homes, get
It's a
those,
big deal.
those opportunities. So
It's the biggest purchase of your life.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's an emotional investment. This is where you're going to be raising your family. This is where you're going to be living. So it is
Absolutely.
really important to both of us to be available to our clients.
Absolutely. So, whatever you feel that is your priority, what you want, that's just something to be aware of moving forward and what will work best for you. So,
Yeah.
awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks so much.